Today, we're going to talk about how you can live in your audience's mind rent-free, and a very underused, underappreciated way of doing that: LinkedIn text ads. So LinkedIn text ads, we went over a bit last week. If you don't remember, they are the little as you see on the top right of your screen as you're scrolling through your feed. They just have an icon, a header, and a description. We went over that. If you haven't seen that already, go back and check out that video. But today we're going to dig deep into how to write those text ads, how to make sure they're awesome, make sure they convert. I'm Doug Dotz. I'm the founder of I would say, LinkedIn ads agency. We build LinkedIn powered sales funnels for B2B SMBs, companies called Demandable. So let's hop right into it. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at this framework that I use when I am creating LinkedIn text ads. And if you haven't figured out by now, I sort of wing it. I feel like it becomes a bit more authentic and, rather than recorded, and it doesn't have as much personality. So we look here. Boom. All right, we're here. So LinkedIn text ads, how to write text ads that live in your audience's mind rent free. Scroll down a little bit. Here's my framework. It's a 5-step, pretty simple, and I believe that things should be simple, clear, and straight to the point. So we're going to start with finding your target. After you find your target, and your target is a different way of saying your audience, the people that you're trying to get to read and engage with your text ad. Next stage, we'll talk about the actual stage that your target is in. So that is what part of the journey they're in. Are they extremely cold? Have they been exposed to your brand before? Have they been exposed to your brand multiple times? Are they a current customer? What stage are they in? Then we want to talk about what do they need to know. And when I say need to know, I'm saying that at that stage, what is the most important information for them to get from you right there? Then we're going to move into rapid iteration. With text ads, your campaigns are going to have between 10 and 20 ads in them. So you want to balance quantity with quality. You want to be such a perfectionist that you can only create 2 or 3 ads, but you don't want to be crappy that you create 100. So we want to balance those two together to make sure that you get a decent look. Last, we're going to talk about reviewing, because you always got to review, always got to double check, always got to make sure that you're not shipping off some crap into the ether. So step 1. Your target. And we're going to use my business as an example so that we get a real world and we're not just talking theory. We're going to actually go through and build this out actionably. So your target, B2B SMBs. I would say, if you're going to get more specific than that, we're going to say B2B SMBs who have between 3 and 10 employees and are $1 and $5 million in annual revenue and have an average contract value of greater than, let's say, 24,000. So these are SMBs that actually make a little bit of money off of their contracts there. Talking about these stages here. So like I said, we're going to talk about what stage they are in the journey. So I personally have a 5-layer framework strategy that I use for all of my businesses here. We have a first one, which we can call it always on reach. We have nurture layers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of these indicate a different stage in the journey when it comes from somebody actually knowing who the brand is to actually, what do you call it? Booking a meeting and inbound with you. When we get deeper, need to know at that stage. So that always on reach. This is where we're introducing the brand to new audiences. So they need to know, who are you? Why should I pay attention? Nurture layer 1, that 90-day engagement. We want to build that trust, credibility, and authority so they know, like, and trust you. Nurture layer 2, we want to accelerate trust and build urgency. Like, hey, this is why we want to act now and take an action. Nurture layer 3, we want to keep the prospects in our ecosystem. Nurture layer 4, we want to decrease no-shows. If you want to get more specific, so you get a little bit more clarity on these different layers, the 90-day engagement is anybody who has been to your website, been to your company page, or interacted with any of the ads in the always on reach section in the last 90 days. Your 30-day engagement is going to be people who have interacted with your 90-day list as well as your always on list, and so they've shown a lot of I would say buying intent and purchase intent, and high intent signals. Nurture layer 3, we talk about nurture layer 3. So nurture layer 4, we're talking about the 180-day list. It is nurture layer 3. All right, so the 180-day list. That 180-day list are people who have interacted with your always on reach and might have interacted with any of the other layers, but they haven't done so in 90 days, between 90 days and 180 days. So these people, we want to stay on top of their mind and engage with them so that they stay in our content ecosystem and get us and stay working with us. Nurture layer 4, this is people who have actually booked a meeting with you, and this is the time between they book a meeting and they actually show up for that meeting. So you want to decrease those no-shows and decrease the time, the amount of people that waste your time, essentially. All right, rapid iteration. Let's hop right into it. So we're going to build these live. So here is a bit of the framework that I used. We put the stage in, put that need to know, put that headline. We talk about we want to make sure that we have the right characters and the right description. So headlines need to be at most 25 characters, and descriptions need to be at most 75. So let's look and let's think through this. Let's take some examples from the always on reach stage and the 90-day engage and the 30-day engage. So let's start at the top. Stage always on reach. Ooh, if I can spell. So what do they need to know here? In the always on reach section, they need to be introduced to the brand. Now, this gets to be sort of easy because introducing to the brand, all you gotta do is talk about your name, or what you offer, things like that. So this is sort of the easier section. So I normally start with if a brand has a headline or saying that they like to use, let's start with that. So my headline is Revenue Engines Built to Last. All right. That is 29 characters. Obviously, I have overseed it, so I need to go down here. And this is why it's important to have this calculator on here to see how long this is to make sure that we're staying within. So let's see if we can do it like that. Boom, exactly 25. Rev Engines Built to Last. In the B2B world, people know exactly what that means. So Rev is a good word to use. All right, so for a description, what does your client or you normally use as a let's say subheader or support to this statement? So Rev Engines Built to Last. Let's say that let's go directly to the product. All right, so we build LinkedIn powered sales funnels for B2B SMBs. 52. All right. So that's good. So we still have some space here. And I could get more specific here. I don't need these capitals. Don't need this S right there. That's probably in the review section, but that's fine. We build LinkedIn powered sales funnels for B2B SMBs. If you want to get very specific and disqualify people in 1 to 5 mil and ARR. Boom, 71. So here we're going to run with that one because that gives us a bit more qualifications. And when somebody clicks on this, they know they need to be within these things. So now what I normally do here is we want to balance quantity with quality. I take this same ad, and I flip it because we're trying to get between 10 and 20 ads inside the campaign because that's how many people are going to see. So let's say now we want to turn this into a 25 character one. So we want to say LinkedIn powered sales funnel, and that's going to be too long. Oh, wait, we got to boom, go like that. All right, so that's going to be 30. So here, since we're on LinkedIn, let's just make this LI. Boom, right there. So LinkedIn powered sales funnel. We're on LinkedIn. People know what LI stands for. And then here, let's flip it. So Revenue Engines Built to limited engines built to last for BDMBs. That's 42. So we're going to go ahead and use our space 1 to 5 male and AR. All right, 62. Great. So that way we have, like I said, start with the company saying something like that. And that way we have two ads just flipped together. All right, now we want to get into a bit more of a creative section because that one was a gimme. That was easy. So in our always on reach, when be introduced to the brand, what can I say that will, one, get us noticed and cause the LinkedIn audience to take action? So we're going to be in the same section here. Let's do two more of these. And our headline, so what I try to do next is a controversial statement, not for the sake of being controversial, but for something to get somebody to think something. I know a good one. Still focused on leads. Now, why this is good for me is that I like to say that we can get you ready to buy sales opportunities, which is a few stages beyond just leads. So here, let's go ahead and say that we get you ready. I like better sales ready meetings with truly qualified prospects. Now, why this is good for me is that lead quality is a big pain point for SMBs and those who need to do outbound and outreach. So quite often you'll have you talk to a lead generation agency, they'll get you 100 leads and maybe 4 or 5 of them are qualified. There might be an exaggeration, but the point is that lead quality is pretty crappy in general. Not necessarily because people this person wouldn't be a good fit, but because this person isn't ready to buy from you. So it's important to differentiate that we get you sales ready meetings, meaning that this person is actually in the market looking for a solution, ready to purchase. We're not wasting time because you're trying to get a solution next year, next month, 2 years from now in 2030 when the stock market comes back up, all of these different random things when pigs fly, whatever. So we want to get somebody that's ready to buy today. So that's addressing a pain point that somebody is doing. So once again, with the same strategy, we're gonna say get sales ready meetings. Let's see if that fits. I'm not sure if it does. It looks a little longer. Oh, it does. Get sales ready meetings, and then let's flip it and say that graduate, because we want to make people feel that it is a more mature strategy from lead generation to attracting sales, attracting prospects who they take my. This is way too long, I guarantee you, but I want to see up 84. All right, so let's not lead gen 77 to start attracting. And this is, I have a little personality. So instead, whenever I have a word that's just talking about people that's too long, I replace it with folks. Boom, 73. Take my money, please. So this injects a little bit of humor, as well as giving a bit of FOMO and getting somebody to think, because we tell them to graduate, meaning that they can be better, they can move on, they can get a better, a more advanced strategy. All right, so in the always on reach section, sort of the tactics that we take is that we start with the whatever the saying tagline is for the business, because that's what it's a branding aspect. We want them to be known for that. Then we start poking at the pain points. So here, the pain point I was talking about is, hey, lead gen. A lot of people focus on lead gen. Lead gen sucks. So let's say like, hey, we're better than lead gen. We're doing more than that. And then we flip those tactics. We take each of those particular ads and we flip them so that we are able to double our efforts with the same concepts and reuse that work there. So recycle that work. So let's move on to the next section. We're going to look at the nurture layer 1. And at nurture layer 1, we want to build trust, authority, and credibility. All right. So this is where it gets a little bit more difficult, because we're not just trying to introduce the brand. We're actually trying to build a digital relationship with these people. So what are we thinking with that? So with a trust, authority, and credibility, to build trust with somebody, you have to prove that you know what you're talking about. And when I say prove that you know what you're talking about, you need to show a history of actually having quality results. Like, hey, example, testimonials, case studies, thought leadership articles. To build authority, that's where you have to, you know what? Let me say that better. To build trust, you have to have shown a history of doing what you say you can do. To build authority, that's where you have to show that you know what you're talking about and have that thought leadership, those deep dives, that research, the strategic insight, that like, hey, I am an expert / authority figure in the industry that I am. That's what I'm talking about. Now, build credibility. That's a bit of social proof to support what I'm doing. So I have a history of doing what I say I can do. I have the knowledge that I can do, and then I have proof that I can do it that way. Authority and credibility sort of overlap a bit to me, and I'm not 100% foggy. I mean, I'm not 100% unfoggy on what they mean and what's the difference. But I do know that the type of things that go into it work when you talk about building trust and authority and credibility. And in reality, I could probably just delete credibility and say build trust and authority and make it easier explanation. But regardless, we want to build those things. So when you do that, we're talking about thought leadership, expertise, trust. So testimonials, case studies, awards, anything that shows that, hey, I have some backing up to my strategy. So we're looking at, let's see. I guess a good stat is to start throwing out numbers, do statistics. So a good one would be, I had a landing page strategy where, so we decreased your sales cycle by 32x. All right. So let's just get that below that. Why I say that is that, so we, with our retargeting strategy, we started our client. I guess so. We started with a 68-day. Oh, you know what? Better. We don't want to get all explanations. Let's work on those copywriting techniques. So how we took a sales cycle from 68 days down to 7. All right, so we have a bunch more characters. So learn how we took 6 to 8 days down to 7 and closed, excuse me. What was it? I think we got 19 leads. Let me look it up real quick. All right, and closed 4x more business. 79. From 68 days to 7. There we go. Learn how. Ooh. So let's take away learn. How we took a sales cycle from 68 days to 7 and closed 4x more business. So that is combines trust and authority, because it provides, that then it's actually a real statistic there. I have the data to back it up, but it's like, all right, we show that we got a significant result for a client, and the click, I would when they clicked on this ad, I would send them to the case study page for that particular case study that we do. All right, so here, doing the same thing, you want to flip it. And let's say I took a sales cycle from 6 to 8 days down to 7, close 7 more business. Let's change this up and say close 4x more business. Let's see what that's looking like. 22. Oh, this is not going to work. Decrease your sales 32x. Let's change it like this: 32x smaller sales cycle. Boom. That still works. 32x smaller sales cycle. Works more business. All right. And then how we help with a 32x smaller sales cycle, and by decreasing 68 days down to 7. All right. Now let's see if this will fit for us. 83. So we'll make it more actionable. Get a 32x small sales cycles. You know what? This one, I'm not going to try to fill it up. I'm literally going to say get a 32x smaller sales cycle, because this sort of speaks for itself. We had took the same concepts and we flipped it. I don't want to spend too much time on that. So there is that. Now, let's look at one more, and then we'll call it a day. Nurture layer 2. In nurture layer 2, we want to what was it? We want to accelerate trust and build urgency. So to get you a reminder, people in Nurture Layer 2 have interacted with our Always On Reach campaign. They've interacted with Nurture Layer 1, and both of these just happened in the last 30 days. So they're showing, I would say, high intent or high intent activities where there's a high chance that they're actually interested in our business and want to do something. So in this layer, quite often we are giving an offer. We are doing fear of missing out. We're doing the cost of not hiring us. We're doing all of these things that will sort of support that urgency and accelerate the trust. So let's do two versions. We'll do the accelerate trust version. We'll do a build urgency version. So the accelerate trust, this is a bit more direct way of doing it. So I would say that the first, we're going to do a mini offer. And that mini offer is a light yes, because you want to do micro yeses and to give them in the habit of having positive interactions with you, about being a positive memory structure. So a light yes would be the Hero Funnel Blueprint. Let's see if that's going to give us 22, 24. All right, the Hero Funnel Blueprint. And then our description is going to be, how do I describe this thing? How to get sales ready meetings, not leads, in 2024. Learn how to get free, no sign up required. Let's see if it gets too big. It's 82. Let's remove for free, because that gets a bit more redundant. In 2024, no sign up. Let's see what that's going to give us. 75. All right. That's what we'll do. No sign up needed. And so why this is a accelerating trust factor is that quite often people give lead magnets. They want you to sign up for a lead magnet so they can call you, email you, and say like, hey, buy now, buy now, buy now, buy now. But what we want to do instead is that we want to give them an offer that they can read up on and learn more about our business without them having to give us anything. So it's a gift to them. And we will make sure this offer is good. So my Hero Funnel Blueprint is a lead magnet that I use, where it's a probably 20, 30, 40 pages, where it's the exact strategy that I use to help get them the leads. And when they read through it, it's like, oh snap, this is awesome. This is great. I want this. That's how we do that. So building urgency. So look at this building urgency. How would I do a build urgency? Oh, no, I don't want to do that. So here we do want to accelerate trust. I want to build urgency, and I want to say, I can make this better, but I essentially, the message I'm trying to say is space is limited, right? And the reason why I want to say that is that it builds up a like, oh, I need to act now. We only build 2 to 3 funnels a month. And there's 1 spot left. And what I do is that you got to make this relevant and say there's 1 spot left for June. We won't let them know that there's 1 spot left in this month. Now, the important part about this ad is that you got to keep track of it and go back and update it, because if it's July, it says for June, it becomes inauthentic. And this is actually the truth. You know, I actually only build 2 or 3 funnels a month, and I don't like giving false urgency. So you are, most of the time, you're limited by capacity, you're limited by funds, you're limited by bandwidth, what have you. So if you really can't handle more than 3 clients a month and you have a quality product, say that. And people will see that, okay, there's a high demand and there's limited bandwidth, and it increases the desire for your product and service. So 2 to 3 phones a month, and there's 1 spot left for June. So I'd want to iterate on the space is limited section, but that's because that's okay, but it's not strong. But the point I'm trying to make is that they need to act now, book a call with us, so that they could. Since I have 16 left, let's see if I can fit that. Book a call. 29. Nope. Let's see if we can do book now. All right, regardless, we're going to work on this. We need that 25. But the point is that you want to accelerate trust and build urgency. Accelerating trust in this layer is giving away something for free, giving them something where you're not acting to do anything besides like, hey, consume this content. And then from there, they're going to build that trust in you that, oh, you didn't ask for something, you gave me something of value. Let's go ahead and take that out. Then building urgency, book now, space is limited. We only book. So give a true urgent situation. If you don't have a true urgency, don't use it. Just build trust of, act now, get a free this. Act now, we have this much space left, so on and so forth. And so this process takes us through the matching the language that we're using to all the different stages in the funnel, and how it sort of lives in your context mind rent free, because I made that promise, is that you are following them along the awareness levels. So you are speaking to them based on where they are. And you're also interacting with them in multiple different formats and with multiple different angles, so that they're constantly getting a refresh and a memory structure around who you are. The thing is about these text ads, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. The thing is about these text ads is that they sit outside of the peripheral view on LinkedIn. So as you're scrolling through your feed, they're going to see them sometimes on the top. They're going to see them to the side. They're going to see them in the corner. They're going to see them all around. And even though they may not consciously read the text ad, and I get quite a lot of clicks from these, but the vast majority are impressions, is that quite often somebody's seeing these ads, they are unconsciously absorbing them, and their brain is taking a notice that, okay, I've seen this logo, they said this thing. Next day, I see this logo, they say this thing. Next day, I've seen this logo, they say this thing. And that brain is building up that memory structure, that familiarity, that trust, that thought process. So unconsciously, you're going to start to build a relationship with this person through these text ads. And their support to other different ad formats, of course. But you start to build these relationships. And that's why display ads are such a big thing, and they're so big, because text ads are LinkedIn's versions of display ads. And so display, it's not about getting a click. It's about exposure and building a digital relationship so that people are constantly seeing you, constantly interacting with your brand, constantly getting that build up, because familiarity breeds recognition. Recognition breeds trust. And most often what people are doing, they're going to see your text ad one day. And they're going to say, hey, you know what? I've been seeing this brand everywhere. I've been seeing Demandable everywhere. Let me go look them up. And so they never click, but they'll go search you on Google. They'll search you on LinkedIn. They'll see what you're going on. They go to your website, and next thing you know, you have an inbound lead, and some people wonder where it came from. So that is my how to write text ads that live in your prospect's mind rent free. If you can, and you like what we're talking about here, leave a comment, let me know. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm trying to go from an unknown LinkedIn expert to a slightly less unknown LinkedIn expert. So give me a like, give me a subscribe, let me know that you know what's going on, and tune in next week for our next video, where we'll probably be going into some advanced topics on LinkedIn text ads, probably deep dive into all the different ways I use them across the different the different nurture layers that I have. And yeah, so if you didn't see the LinkedIn Ads 101, the basics, go back to that video on my channel and stay tuned for the next advanced level. I'm Doug Dotz, and see you next time.